What situation? I'm kind of behind. I've been at work all day, so some things I've heard and some I ain't. You talking about the break-in ceasefire?
I mean, yeah, that was this morning. I already talked about that. They violated the ceasefire. Both Israel and Iran violated the ceasefire. But I don't know if you saw. There's a video of Trump saying like, "These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, they've
He's
been at war
frustrated.
so
Yeah, I did
long, they
see
don't
that.
know what the fuck they're doing."
He's frustrated. I'd be frustrated too. He's like retard wrangling.
Yeah, I know. Really, it's really freaking retarded.
But after talking with your friend Sam, I'll always support the people over the government. Always. And I'm a fair. One flaw Trump has, I believe he's a poor judge of character. He's been stabbed in the back more times than I can count. But I'm actually a pretty decent judge of character, and there's not a doubt in my mind that Sam is a good soul. And I really feel bad for him because I wish that I could tag on drop him bombs myself on that regime. I really do, and let the people do the rest. I understand that. Um, but yeah, I feel like Trump's frustrated. I mean, I lose my cool a lot easier than he does. You see me in the chats sometimes. I just now got through going off, and yeah, he's frustrated. I would be pissed off too if I'd had both of them agreeing to it, and then regardless of how it come about, he out of Trump's own mouth, he said Israel dropped ordnance on him by the likes of which he's never seen. So it must be quite a bit. So
Yeah, he said 1 hour after he announced the ceasefire. I mean, I love how the Democrats like to not even mention that the ceasefire was actually real. They're like, "What are you talking about? What ceasefire?" I mean, it was on Iranian television, for crying out loud. It was on Iranian television. They announced the ceasefire, but the Democrats, they
well,
want
what
this
it
war.
is,
That way they can blame it on Trump and they can tell his supporters to go to war and die, basically.
what it is the Democrats have not had time for their politicians to administer what knowledge they need uh, through enema. That's the problem. They ain't got what they need to think through the Democrats' enema yet.
And I
So,
love how the Democrats are crying, saying, "Oh, it's not up to us to, change a country's regime. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be changing the country's regime." Well, if it's not up to us, it's definitely not up to you to make that decision. You're not the
and it's
commander in chief,
not up
first
to
off.
China and Iran or China and Russia either. They're looking like they're gonna stick their noses in their business. And that Sam telling me about what China was doing, and the regime is part to blame for that. If the regime that reminds me of Mao. If you know anything about General Mao from China, I forget what it was. I think he sold his own people's food for pocket change, for his own pocket change. And to me, this is the same deal right here. The Iranian regime is probably selling out their waters for pocket change, and its own people can't even fish their own waters. That's bullshit. That is a regime that needs to go right there, my friend.
I mean, yeah, he talked about that, like you just said. He said that the Iranian government is selling out their fishing waters to China so they can fish there, and the own people can't even eat it anymore. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate. Not to mention,
Hey,
they're making trillions of dollars off illegal oil deals with Russia and all these other countries and stuff like that.
hey, I see a chat in here I kind of like here, kind of, okay? Baba Roga, you still on? Heil Trump. I'm just curious, Baba. Is Trump a Nazi? Can you tell me in the chats, Baba? Is Trump a Nazi?
See,
I'm
this is
waiting
such a
for it.
Democrat comment right here. Deploy the
Know it.
Republicans.
I know it. I just got to hear it. I find it funny. Come on, Baba. Don't chump up now.
Bob is real
No, it's
quiet.
not. So no, Trump's not a Nazi. Is that what you're saying?
He's a damn Democrat. He can't hide behind a screen.
Oh, I'm just waiting for him. Just him in particular. No, he is not. Then why are you saying Heil Trump? Does anyone out there think Trump's a Nazi?
Someone said Israel has broken nearly every single ceasefire they've ever been in for 80 years. Iran is not the problem. You don't think the
You
Islamic
don't think?
Republic, the Islamic regime is a problem? That's crazy. They kill
Yeah.
gay people. They kill people that are saying freedom of speech. They treat their own
Well,
people
I'm glad you're
horrible. And you don't
joking,
think that's a
Baba.
problem?
Yeah, it's a problem. I think that it's a problem that there's people out there uh, that is blaming. See, this is what kills me. Okay, this is the biggest reason I came on here. Is you got one person in the chats that said, "Well, the reason that Iran ever even started cooking their stockpile up is because Trump backed out of their deal." Now, I don't care if they had a deal and they've had a hard time. It's been skeptical for them to have any nuclear anything. All of a sudden, Trump's backs out of a deal in 2021, or I don't know, before Biden was in there. Goes through the entire Biden administration, and you would think that if they had good intentions, they wouldn't have started cooking their stuff up. But instead, oh, okay, we're not in a deal no more, so we should just start cooking our stuff up. That tells me all I need to know about that country. They never had good intentions. What agreements has Iran stuck to? What deals have they not broken? I'd really like to hear that. I think they've broken just as many, if maybe more. I don't know. I'm not keeping count, but I mean, I wouldn't take Iran at their word for anything. I think that'd be foolish.
Go ahead and ask your question. But if you want to drop a super chat question, that's even better. But go ahead, Muhammad. I'm interested in Muhammad's question for Big Beard or whatever you want to call him.
I'm
Apparently,
good
that's
with
what he
Big
called you
Beard.
in the
I answered
comments.
asshole too.
Which deals did they break? Name one. I don't know, honestly. I mean, I
I
can
mean,
name
I
one right
don't.
now. The recent ceasefire. Both sides broke it, to be fair.
Yep, both sides broke it. To be fair, that's right. What's your name, Big Beard? First of all, my name's Eric or
Ethan commented
Dudley
in 2 seconds. Dustly.
or again asshole. I've answered asshole a lot.
Listen to Trump. Israel broke it 1 hour later. I believe it. I believe it.
Eggs have already gone down. I don't know what you're paying, but I mean, I'm paying $2 a dozen for farm fresh eggs. I'm paying about three and a half, $4 a dozen for I don't know if it's cage free. I like brown eggs. I really like green eggs. I know that sounds funny, but the shell's green. I can taste the difference. The green eggs
Muhammad
come
wants
from
to know your religion. Muhammad says, "What's your religion, Eric?"
I'm Christian. I believe in the good Lord Almighty. I became a more serious Christian in 20, I think 2018, might have been 2019. I became a more serious Christian when I survived a motorcycle accident. The good Lord ain't done with me yet. Uh, I used to be in a motorcycle club. I was a real piece of shit. I had a low opinion of women, and I mean, I was a good man, but I was a bad boy. And I survived a motorcycle wreck. I was going through construction zones on the interstate, and the speed limit was 45, and I got rear-ended by a drunk driver that was going well over 100 mile an hour. Some people think about 120 mile an hour. And I actually woke up on the hood of that car. I thought I was dead and going to heaven. and saw the stars in the sky and the moon. And at the time, I was about 45-year old, and I'm like, damn, 45-year old, that went fast. That was a disappointment. And then all of a sudden, something went across my face. I didn't know what it was. So I thought I was floating off and going to heaven. And all of a sudden, another one. It was the overpasses where we was going underneath the overpasses. Then I finally realized that I had been knocked out and I was on the hood of a car. I traveled on the hood of a drunk's car for almost 3.5, 4 miles before they realized I was even on there, and my bike was lodged into the hood of the car. And they tried shaking me off the car, and finally they succeeded in that. They shook me off the hood, and I slid another 200 and 250 feet and crashed into a Jersey wall, just all body. And you slide 200 feet and you slide into a Jersey wall. How do you survive all that? And practically, I'm not saying I didn't have any injuries, but I was walking. I walked away from that. So now you tell me how I walked away from all that, and there ain't no God. Somebody had their finger on me. Somebody was watching out for me. So there ain't a doubt in my mind. Okay, here we go. You are my brother because you believe in Jesus, and Jesus is Islam, called Elsa. And I thought there is no difference between Christian, Muslim, and Judaism. But the real thing, you have to know about it. I don't know if I exactly follow you there. I don't know if I follow you there, Mohammed. But
Another comment, I like this comment. A large white beard is often associated with wisdom and maturity in various cultures and traditions. It symbolizes experience and knowledge, reflecting a person's life journey and earned respect.
it's kind of like that in the biker world too. Um, Even though I wouldn't ever necessarily, I'm smart enough to honestly not look to somebody with a big long beard for necessarily wisdom, because I've seen some really old dumbasses. They used to be my brothers. Yeah, I have to tell you some of them. So if you thought my trucking story was funny, I'll have to share. I'll have to share with you some of the biker. I'll share with you one of them real quick if y'all want to hear it. Uh,
Let's hear it. Pranava, hello, how are you? Hit the
when
like
you
and
go,
subscribe button, drop super chats. The channel hasn't been doing the best today, so if someone can drop some super chats, that'd be much appreciated. And let's hear the story now, though. We
so
want to hear it for sure.
when you go to all these different events and things, you get in with people from all over the nation, actually from all over the world, and you get into your little clique of people. My clique of people was a bunch of dumbasses. One of the fun things we like to do is, well, of course, we was smoking pot. Okay, we was doing that back then. I don't do that anymore, but we was getting high, getting drunk, and it was a game of chicken. And what it was, you do not want shoes with laces for this because you will ruin them. You want boots. And you take boxes, you find boxes, and there's always boxes around from all the alcohol and stuff that get brought in, all the groceries and things. There's always boxes. And you put these boxes around your feet, and everybody sits around the campfire, and you got your feet close to the fire, but not to the point where it's burning yet. And everyone goes around, and while you keep going around, you keep inching closer and closer and closer till it starts getting hot. Then eventually the boxes start catching flame. Then it's just a matter of just hanging out until you're the last dumbass there with your feet on fire. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's
That's a kind of like
crazy.
a little that's kind of like a little biker game. I did have another one though. Probates were always supposed to do what they were told, and the patches, full blown bikers, they had this game they liked to play where they would set a bar table on fire with lighter fluid. Well, first reaction to most probates, which is somebody looking to gain entry into the club, was to put that fire out. Oh, you do not want to do that, because the next thing you got a 1% that's pretending to be pissed off. It's saying, "Why'd you put my fire out? I started that." So it gets into a bunch of little foo foo games. You shouldn't have put my fire out. What the hell? Well, I one upped everybody. I make my own ammo. and at the time I was carrying a 454 Casull. Well, where I make my own ammo, I made a dummy round. I took the primer, I hollowed the primer out. It didn't have any powder in it. So whenever a patch would set a table on fire, I'd take that dummy round and I'd sit there and I'd put it right in the middle of that fire, and you'd see everybody scatter underneath the table. Nobody was the wiser that it was a dummy round. But yeah. But anyway, let's get back on
That's
politics.
hilarious.
But I've got a million of these stories, whether it's trucker or biker or whatever. So, but I really enjoyed the live you did the other morning with Sam. That fella, he risked a lot bringing us that information, and it kills me for one of the assholes in the Discord channel chat saying that doesn't change nothing. You know what? It changed a lot for me. And particularly what it changed for me is I was always under the impression that pretty much all of Iran was death to America, death to America. I didn't realize the people was okay with us. And it took him saying that. And that's why he changed my heart in that moment, because knowing what I know now, I don't support that Iranian government. Hell no. I barely support my own. But I support the people. And those people deserve better than that, and they deserve better than their own government to uh, selling them out to the Chinese and
Get
letting
money in.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's bullshit. People need to take their waters back. He
He said it
said,
would be easy, worse than we were before. What does that mean? What are
"Yeah,
you
I'm
talking
wondering
about? I'm
what's
sure
that
he's
mean,
talking some
Elias."
shit about Trump. He said it would be easy, worse than we were before.
I don't
Trump is
think
trying to
so.
make deals
I've
in the
been
Middle East. He can't control everything. Let's talk about this for a second. Trump isn't responsible for other countries starting war with other countries. I mean, I think that's kind of ridiculous. Israel attacked Iran, and now Iran is active in this war, and they act like all this is Trump's fault because they blame every single problem in their life on two people. They either blame Trump or they blame the Jews, or they blame the Jews and they blame Trump. Now, listen, the reason that you're not married and you don't have a wife and you don't have a job, it's not the Jews' fault. Yes, there's issues in the Middle East. Yes, their government isn't perfect. I don't agree with everything Netanyahu does. He has some corruption scandals that are possibly true. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't agree with everything he does, and I don't agree with another country attacking another country first. But if we're talking about
you froze on us.
that definitely was a military
You
strategy.
froze on us. Back up just a little bit.
I said I don't agree with other countries attacking other countries first, but if we're talking about military strategies, you know, getting rid of those nuclear facilities, I think was definitely a smart move. And funny enough, even some Democrats agree bombing them and getting rid of those nuclear facilities was a smart move, which I think is
Well,
hilarious. But at the same time, the Democrats support the not the Democrats. Let's not say Democrats. The radical leftists. The leftists, a lot of
yeah.
them support the regime in Iran, which is crazy. Not even the own Iranian people support the regime. The regime hates homosexuality. It hates freedom of speech. It hates women that leave their hair out of their burqas, out of their face coverings.
Have you ever seen pictures of Iran from back in the 60s and the 70s?
It was way better. That's even another thing Sam said during the live stream. He said, "Don't even bother visiting there right now because it was way. Don't even visit there if the regime changes because
It
there was
looked like
way
California
better
or
back
something.
then."
It looked like California or something. Everybody was in their bathing suits and having a good time.
Yeah, they can't wear
It,
bikinis in Iran anymore. That's not happening. They'll be persecuted and murdered and killed.
them people are weird. I mean, just flat out weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't oogle other women, but me personally, there's nothing finer than my wife in a bikini. That's
California,
just
you
me.
hate California, someone said.
I don't like California, but it's not all bad, and there's some good people out there. Let's be honest. All in all, no, I do not like California. I mean, I did make the joke that maybe we should give the Iranian regime, California, and they deserve each other. But that's a bad joke. I don't truly believe that. I would not give up California to anybody as much as I do dislike what they do. But one of the things that I've seen people using as a defense is, well, nobody did anything when Korea got nuked. Okay, I don't agree with North Korea having nukes. But the thing is, was Trump president when North Korea got nukes? No. So the way I look at that is, and it's one of the flaws in our government, is the set time that our leaders are in there. And it goes so far different between when there's a Democrat or a Republican in office. So it goes from one extreme to the other. So that is one of the negatives. That's the only negative I believe I have with our government system. And I think paper ballots one day voting will change that too. But
Absolutely. Let's talk about these super chats for a second. We got a super
okay,
chat that says, "Trump's in the game, swinging for freedom. Crybabies, get in line." I love that.
yep.
Thank you, brother of the road, for the super chat.
Nobody
Another
cries
one
like a liberal.
says, "Most." Sorry?
Nobody cries like a liberal.
No one cries like a liberal. Then the other super chat says most people are against the conservative rule. I think he's talking about Iran because, I guess their government is called conservative, but the way us Americans look at conservative is a little bit different than Iran or, places that are extremely, extremely over
I look
conservative
at
where
it
they'll
more
kill
like a
women.
dictatorship. After what I heard, it sounded to me more like a dictatorship. Because unless he appoints
Absolutely, it's a
someone in his,
dictatorship.
so if he don't appoint somebody, it would fall apart. You know what? That makes him a really valid target. But but back to one moment to the Korean thing. I believe wholeheartedly that if Trump was president when North Korea got nukes, he'd have took care of that situation too. So it's with North Korea, it's a situation of a little, too late type deal. They got them, but I'm telling you what, I don't think he'll just stand back and let Russia and China just give Iran nukes. And to my knowledge, you just can't up and do that either. I don't think that's something easily done. And not to mention, they're gonna have hell making that travel there. How many boats did Putin bomb and destroy when people was trying to bypass their oil and stuff? If I'm or no, how many did he down when people were bringing in ordnance and equipment for Ukraine? To my knowledge, there's a few boats that got sank, and I could see that happening with China or Russia. They sending Iran nukes. I could see those boats, those planes, whatever, just going missing.
Iraq, Vietnam, Afghanistan learned nothing. We were involved in more conflicts than just these three conflicts, first off. But I appreciate the super chat, Ellis. But yeah, we can discuss Iraq, Vietnam, Afghanistan if you like. I mean, what are your takes on it? I think Trump is much different than George W. Bush and Bush Sr. And, they didn't even attempt to make a ceasefire. All they said is, oh, let's keep attacking Iraq, keep attacking like they have weapons of mass destruction, keep attacking, keep attacking. Trump
I
is
think
literally condemning Netanyahu. He's condemning Israel for their attacks, not for their government. I mean, for the government a
I
little
think
bit, but for their government attacks and stuff like that. But he's not condemning the country as a whole, but the government. And he's telling them to step down. He's threatened Iran and Israel multiple times. And he wants the war to end. There's no doubt in my mind for that.
yeah. Well, um, shit, I had a brain fart. We've
But
had
Vietnam was just,
during all those
invasion
conflicts,
for another
we've had
person's
different
war.
leaders, and with Iraq, I personally believe that was a witch hunt by George W. Bush Jr. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Iran put a hit out on his dad or something like that? I'm pretty
I
sure
think
they
I've heard
did.
of that story before, and there is no
So
video evidence, no photo evidence that they ever showed us of any nuclear facilities like with the Iran situation. And either way,
yeah,
we're not sending troops into Iran, so it's really not even comparable.
no, it ain't. Not yet. You don't
And
know what
even
the future
people,
holds.
yeah, I don't know if you heard the Iranian guy. He's completely against America sending troops in, but he wants America to keep bombing Iran.
And I respect that. Yeah, I definitely respect that. I respect, and I totally understand where he's. I believe I understand where he's coming from. I mean, he's all about the regime getting bombed. They're probably outmanned and outgunned. Maybe not outmanned, but definitely outgunned. And not to mention the actual people, they're going to have more of a value on their family life and their family, whereas the people in that regime is probably going to be regime first. And that is a big difference also. So I can kind of see where he would like it to be the regime to be knocked down a few notches before the people did something. But that is the right way also. The people do need to stand up for their own. Um, yeah, I feel bad. I really feel bad for him. I feel bad for them people.
It's crazy. The same radical leftists that were supporting Palestine are now
You
shifting
went
over to
mute,
supporting.
Graham.
Sorry,
You
can you hear
went
me?
mute. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now? Now, hello,
I can hear
hello.
you now.
The same people that were supporting Palestine are now supporting even a more radical group, the Islamic Republic, the government of Iran, that quite literally wants to kill homosexuals, people with freedom of speech, women with their hair out, women in bikinis, showing any kind of skin. They want to murder them. But ironically, the radical leftists, this is everything they support and love. But yet, they want to support the Iranian regime. It's hilarious. Drop a like and subscribe. Drop us a super chat if you have any questions you want us to talk about.
I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter what side that the conservatives are on, the far left is always going to take the exact opposite side, and I can't figure that out to save my life because even the people I was arguing with earlier, we did find one thing we all agreed on, and that was that nobody needs nukes. I really wish that nukes were not even around. So that was one thing we could agree on. But generally speaking, far left is going to take. I swear, I believe Trump could come out and say air's bad for you, or and they'll stop breathing. Or Trump could say, dog shit's bad for you. And all the left's going to start eating dog shit. Now, they ain't a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, 100%. They would start eating dog shit.
I'm going to try an experiment, Graham. I heard Trump say that. He said dog shit's bad for you. I believe him. Dog shit is so fucking bad for you. Now, you're going to have to wonder next time you run into somebody that's got dog shit breath whether or not they heard this channel or not.
Can we debate y'all? Yes, we're both in the Discord. Link in my bio. You can indeed debate us.
I wish there's some way we could do it on live, though. There's some way to do a panel. I don't know how, but
Is
there's
there?
some way to do a
I'll look
panel.
into it. I don't. I'll try to figure it out if there's a way to add 3 or 4 people in a live stream. That would be pretty
Because I
cool.
don't like to give it away for free. People like to see that.
Yeah, hell
And I mean,
yeah.
I'll
It's
be
not
on.
cool when you do it in a Discord and only a couple people listen. I like to set it up on YouTube. If you guys want to debate against me, we got to do it on YouTube for everyone to see.
Yeah. There just ain't no point in giving it away for free. That's just my point. And there's too many of them. I guess they have a form of stage fright or something. It doesn't bother me. I love the crowd. You know, I love having as many people as possible watching me at the same time saying, liberals, take this moment and go fuck yourselves. That's for my
You
friend
guys are
Sam.
awesome. Trump train. Thank you.
But yeah, So
I
I
love
don't
when they
know.
call us brainwashed, but they believe every single damn thing they hear from the mainstream media.
Yep. Let me tell you what Sam came on and told us the other day means more than any kind of graph or chart that them libtards can show us. And here's something else I want to kind of get out in the open too, okay? Because I watched the Benny Johnson show, and evidently he got caught up in some kind of scandal where, the way I understood it was unbeknownst to him that a Russia media group was feeding him a bunch of bullshit. Well, now, if he didn't know about it, how do you hold him liable for it? But okay, here's the way the liberal mind works. If your news source makes one mess up, just one, they expect you to believe that's just discredited, no good, never going back to it ever again. Yet, they're glued into CNN and ABC and
There's
NBC and
countless
PBS.
mistakes and public lies and defamation lawsuits that I can name from CNN. So many defamation lawsuits, so many lies. I mean, for Christ's sake, they were telling people when during the COVID that when Joe Rogan was taking hydrochloroquine that that shit was for horse. It was horse tranquilizer. They were saying, I think that's what it was called, hydrochloroquine. What's the other one actually?
No,
Maybe it's
it
not
was
hydrochloroquine.
ivermectin. It was ivermectin.
Ivermectin. Ivermectin. They were saying ivermectin is horse tranquilizer. They were fat. They put a filter on the man's face to make him look gray and sickly. They said ivermectin is for horses. You know how many medicines? There's skin creams with ivermectin in it. For fuck's sake, like there's
Hey,
skin creams with ivermectin in it. There's all kinds of different things. Yes, there are some ivermectins that are horse grade dewormers. Yes, that is true. But in general, it's used for all kinds of different medications and medicines. It's not fair to pretend like it's only for horse dewormer.
I,
What's
I'm
up,
guilty
Lion?
of
How are
taking
you?
I'm guilty of taking my dog's antibiotics a time or two.
I don't know anything about that, honestly. I'm not a doctor. I can't advise you
It's
otherwise.
all
Do what you think
medicine.
is right.
It's all medicine. You ever notice? You ever look at the little oh gosh, the medical symbol where it's like the cross or the cane with the snakes going up it?
Yeah.
It's because you're poisoned. Doesn't mean you
Oh,
can't get
Jesus.
better, but it's all poison. That's what they're giving you. Used in the wrong amounts, it's poison. Used in the right amounts, it'll heal you. That's how medicine works. Same thing with ivermectin. I believe ivermectin works, and I think my wife's maybe going to try it. I'm even going to try it. I mean, what's the worst that happens to you? You become parasite free. Ugh. Oh, big deal. I'm parasite free now. I know I'm parasite free because I take ivermectin. But it kind of makes sense. I mean, you know, parasites damage your body. And after so much damage, your DNA starts to change and do funny things. So if you start getting growths and funny things from having the parasites, the ivermectin restricts blood flow, to the way I've read it, restricts blood flow to those parts of your body that like little cysts and things, cause them to shrink and go away. So,
There's something I want to say about ivermectin, but there's also this guy from New Zealand who super chatted. He said, both sides are stupid. Politics shouldn't identify. That's a great point. We don't identify with one party specifically. We would both vote for Democrat if there was legitimately a good Democrat candidate. It doesn't matter about your party affiliation. If there was legitimately a good Democrat with good policies, with a good plan for border security, a good economic plan, both of us would vote for them.
yep.
Now, we vote on
Well,
policies. We don't vote on party affiliations like most
I don't
Democrats do.
I don't see what the liberals are so upset about anyways, because this administration is not a true conservative administration. Trump Trump's a Democrat. He just changed parties to run. because Democrats weren't worth a damn. RFK Jr., Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat. Elon Musk, Democrat. The only one of them that I see that ain't Democrat is J.D. Vance. So make that make sense for me.
Thank you, Sandwich, for the super chat. Yeah, I don't know why it makes a lot of. I don't know why, why they're hating so hard. A lot of
I
animal
think it's
meds are the same as human meds, someone commented.
yep, just different dosages. Gotta get your dosage right. Whew.
RFK was an independent. Actually, no, he was a Democrat. I mean, he ran
Yeah,
as an independent, I think, in
he ended
the
up
last
running
election,
as
but
an
he was a
independent.
Democrat.
Yeah, he was a long time standing Democrat. Their whole family Democrat. Honestly, until Jimmy Carter, all of my family was Democrat. But and Jimmy Carter was a good man. Okay, I believe, but being a good man don't make you a good president. Being a good man don't necessarily make you the right man for any kind of job.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
You know, that's why I get a kick out of people saying, "Well, Trump lied about this," and
Every
whatever.
president has lied. I don't know if it's because
Every
of
president
ignorance.
has
Not
lied. That's
everyone
right.
knows everything.
You know, politicians are snakes, but here's where people getting it mixed up at. Trump is our snake. He's for the American people. I truly believe that. So I'd rather have one working for me than against me.
Someone said, "Hey, Trump's doing a way better job than Biden."
Man, we should all even just forget about Biden at this point. We should just forget about that old codger because there's no arguing that Biden did anything right. I mean, gosh, the man made tripping upstairs an Olympic event. Gravity, actually, physics and gravity changed their directions for that man. I have never in my life seen anybody ever fall up the steps. But that man fell up the steps faster than I or you could fall down them. I think my funniest moment was when I saw him led around the.
We read all comments that are super chats. There's been some negative super chats that I've read that are against Trump or just hating against American politics in general. We're reading all super chats, but there's a bazillion million comments. Like per live stream, it's normally around 2,000 to 5,000 comments. So if you
And
want your
normally I try and read more, but I'm guilty of. I'm guilty of driving home while being on live chat just because, well, I needed to talk and vent and get things out there. So
they want to hear your opinion on Obama.
I don't have much of a good opinion on Obama. Obama is the first president in history to take away health care to hardworking Americans and or not take it away, to fine hardworking Americans for not having health care while giving it away to illegals. So that's
Yep,
my thought on
that's
Obama.
100% right. The only thing I like about Obama is he was the deporter in chief, deported 3 million illegal immigrants, more than any president in history, including Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, but that's kind of washy too, because didn't he import a bunch of Muslims?
I have no idea. Probably. He probably imported
Look
more than
into
3
that
million
for me.
illegals.
I'm pretty sure he imported a lot of Muslims. And yeah, what's the point in deporting if you're just going to replace? I feel like Democrats for years, including Obama, there have been trying to terraform, like terraform a planet, trying to terraform the U.S. government or the U.S. Voter base. I mean, that's about the only reason I can see all the wide open borders and things going on through Biden's administration. That and you got that scandal coming out now where China was involved allegedly involved in printing up mail-in ballots, and they supposedly came in through Canada, and the illegals used them to vote.
Now, I like this comment. Yeah, talking about that, I think that's pretty accurate. But talking about this comment here, he gave Iran a lot of money. He gave Iran $1.8 billion. Hillary Clinton and the Clintons gave Iran uranium to make bombs, to make nuclear weaponry. So, who does this whole warfare and this whole situation really come from? Trump didn't give them 1.8 billion. Trump didn't give them uranium to build nuclear weapons and nuclear facilities.
Biden released billions and billions of dollars also. And then the liberals were like, well, it was their money. You know what? I don't give a fuck if it was their money. No,
We
they
should have
ain't even
seized
used.
that money and made it American money. We should have spent it on us.
Yep. We had no business giving that back to them. Way I look at it, it's collateral damage. Y'all just forfeited that shit. It's mine now.
If we can take it, it's our money now.
Yep.
Thank
I
you
mean,
for the
heck.
shekels. Much appreciated.
They take my money. Government takes my money every month, every year. I bet you before it's said and done, they take about 40% of every dollar I make.
They
Because you
said
got to
we're
figure.
for stealing. Yeah, we're 100% for stealing against immoral dictatorship. Steal all their money.
Yep.
If you're
I mean,
immoral, you're killing people for nothing. You're funding terrorism. Hell yeah, we should take all their money.
keep terrorists poor.
That's right.
That's what I. Yeah. I just. I wish. I wish that I was an X man like Professor X, and I could get in people's heads because I'd probably walk away with a headache if I got into a Democrat's head.
Oh yeah, I'm getting into probably 2% of their brain, and it's giving me a headache damn near every time.
Let's see. What's some of these chats? Let's try and. Oh, here we go. Ants and honey. I hear a lot of stupidity here. Hey, the only thing stupider than us is you sitting around watching the show.
Obama put kids in cages. If Trump did that, the liberal media would be crying about it for years straight. I mean, they try to pretend like during his first administration that he put kids in cages. I mean, 80% of the population didn't fall for it. Maybe they got 20% of the people believing that, but they were fact checked really quickly. They found out that was during Obama's administration.
Only 25% of illegals got due process too
The
under
Democrats don't
Obama.
talk about that. Don't talk about that. They'll start crying in chat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it
Israel,
seems when they cry the most when their house of cards comes falling
free
down.
education. Shout out Israel. Drop us some shekels.
Tell you what though, I wish I wish this in all government, not just in our government, but I just wish normal everyday people could get into these positions. You know, people that just all relate to the same thing. They want a roof over their heads. They want stable and secure security. They want food. They want a job. Just people. Sam wasn't no different really than me. Sounded like he had a pretty level head on him.
Hillary Clinton, even she said she would attack Iran in 2007 if they started making nuclear weapons. Thank you. Here's another super chat. It says, this one's going to be interesting. You guys criticize Biden for his Afghani pullout, but excuse every hasty Trump military that they were
Yeah.
fooled by MS Paint Photoshop. Well, first thing about Biden's military Afghanistan pullout. Now, I don't remember how many people died there, but at least more than 40 Afghani army troops were killed during the Afghani pullout. Maybe more, maybe hundreds, maybe even in the low thousands. I'm not 100%
I'd
sure, but I
say we'll
know
never know how
lots
many
of
people
people were
died.
killed. And Trump's nuclear attacks and Iran's attacks on American military bases, zero American troops have died in this recent Middle East conflict. Zero. So that's a
Yeah.
big difference between the Afghanistan pullout and the current Middle Eastern conflicts. So there's a big difference there in total American casualties. Zero American casualties as of now. Maybe we can talk in the future.
Often out of Biden's own mouth, he compared himself to Kissinger when he pulled out of Afghanistan. The way he did it, out of his own mouth, the man said, "Well, Kissinger did it like this." You know what? I don't care, Republican, Democrat, whatever, monkey see, monkey do. Just because somebody else does something doesn't necessarily make it okay for you to do it. I'm sure there's plenty of Vietnam vets out there that don't appreciate how we pulled out of Vietnam. And that's something I've been wanting to do. I would love to find a Vietnam vet who's willing to come and sit down and be on one of these talk shows with us, because we
100%
need
sure we should find one. If anyone knows any Vietnam vets, or anyone that would like to join this live stream that's an American patriot, I mean, hell, they don't even gotta like Trump. Let's just talk about some conflicts
their
going on and
experience.
stuff like that. Let's try to get a Vietnam veteran on here.
Because these stories and everything that happened back then, they need to be passed down to people like you, Graham, the younger generation. Not even so much me. I've heard stories, but it does me good to hear refreshers every now and again. But it's really more important that you, the younger generation, hears and knows about these stories. It seems like more, I don't think there's not many World War II vets left. And it seems like with the more of these old timers that get gone, more of these Vietnam vets that get gone, it's almost like the stuff that was never acceptable is becoming more and more easily accepted. Here we go. Here's a super chat. You guys
Operation
criticize
Warp
Biden.
Speed.
Yet you guys criticize Biden for his Afghanistan pullout, but excuse every hasty Trump military execution the man has fooled by MS Paint Photoshop. The last half I don't completely understand, but hey, this last government exercise, this last military exercise of bombing the hell out of Iran, their nuclear program with zero casualties, what other president has had that kind of success rate?
We got another
So
super chat I want to read. That's a great point he just made. Operation Warp Speed. Trump pushed hard for the rapid development of COVID-19 vaccines.
did he force them on people?
I
The
think that was the New
president,
World Order and the deep state government forcing them on people. But we got another super
yes,
chat here. Careful, Trump insulted Vietnam POWs.
they're talking about Eye Patch McCain, and there's scandal around that. No, he
Eye
did.
Patch McCain.
Yeah, or not Eye Patch McCain. That's who they call Crenshaw. Crenshaw's like a little McCain, so they call him Crenshaw McCain, or I'm sorry, Eye Patch McCain. But yeah, there's I'm gonna have to research into that. But there was more to it than just Trump throwing out blatant insults to McCain.
Another thing Democrats say is, oh, Trump called the army losers or some shit like that. That was proven false and fake.
Well, that's some of that information they got administered through an enema.
If they
I
really
mean,
had video proof, then they would be showing this on video every damn day. We know how the liberal news media is.
yep. That's just like the Epstein bullshit. If Trump was ever even on that Epstein island, if Epstein had anything at all on Trump, Hillary wouldn't have made up Russiagate. See, what Hillary did's a crime. Whether or not she ever is held accountable for it is another story, is another situation altogether. But she has to worry about it. But if they had
Space
actual
dogs.
evidence of
If there's video
what's
proof
that?
of Trump calling the army losers, please join our Discord, link in bio, and send this video in chat. I've talked with so many liberals, not a single one of them has ever sent this video of Trump calling army people losers. And here's another comment, another super chat. Let's hear your opinion on this because I've talked about this a lot. Trump was friends with Epstein for years. He fumbled when asked if he would release the Epstein files. What is the explanation for these facts? First off, before you say your opinion, I want to say Trump indeed did say he was going to release the Epstein files, but I don't know what happened. I'll let you speak on this now.
I think, honestly, I'm disappointed in Cash Patel and Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi. I almost feel like somebody's gotten to them or something. I mean, you've got they're the excuse they hide behind more often than not is that they are protecting people that are on the list. But the thing is, there for a minute there was people on the list that was winding up missing and dead. So there's not much protection there. Uh, it's one of them situations, like Sam said, you're better off to just rip the Band-Aid off and do it. And if in fact Trump is proven to have done heinous things on that island, you'll see me disavow Trump because I firmly believe I watch JD DeLay's show. Don't always agree with everything the man says, but we don't have to. We're human beings. But one thing I do agree with him is that every pedo deserves the wood chipper.
I agree with you there. And Trump
Yep.
also kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago because he was trying to hit on young women there.
What Democrat back then kicked Epstein out of their circles? Tell me that.
Yeah, tell us that. But thank you for the super chat sandwich.
Y'all like watermelon?
Oh, hell yeah, I like watermelon. I know the Democrats like watermelon.
Well, that's something I have in common now. My mom found yellow watermelon the other day, and it
Yellow
was pretty good.
watermelon?
Yellow watermelon. It was as yellow as Mountain Dew.
That's crazy. No Kings protest. Oh, here we go again. We can't even do one
No
stream
Kings
without
is
this
a
being
bunch of
brought up.
pussies. I will go to every No Kings protest in my area, and I will crash that crowd every chance I get.
He's already been to the first one. Diddycrats like him young. Yup, Diddycrats do like him young. You know, that's my new favorite name for him, Diddycrats.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I got a compliment. I was called the Ghetto Santa.
I
Ho,
saw
ho,
like
ho.
5 people commenting that. One guy said, "You're his ghetto Santa." He's like, "This is my ghetto Santa, though." There is a democracy, no kings. I saw the yellow watermelon on TV in the comments.
It's good. Well, America hasn't had a king since 1776, and we've been teabagging England ever since.
Someone said the Discord link expired. Maybe that's because the moderator has done lots of changes to the Discord. I'll update it after the stream so everyone can join in the Discord.
Yeah, I would like to take this moment to make an announcement that in the Discord channel, there is a liberals only chat room. It's in the basement of Discord.
It's a safe spot. It's a safe place for you guys.
Liberal safe space. Liberal safe space. It's in the basement of Discord.
Someone said, I love yellow watermelon.
I've only had it once. I want another one. Y'all ever had cotton candy grapes?
Oh, yeah, those things are freaking amazing, man.
Make some chicken salad with it. I don't know if you like chicken salad or not, but my God, you make some chicken salad with cotton candy grapes and some good pecans. Oh my gosh, that's some good shit.
Oh, that sounds amazing. A restaurant needs to sell that. That would be crazy. What do you want to
Okay.
ask? If you want to ask something, if it's a good comment, we'll answer it. But if it's a super chat, we'll answer it no matter what. Read it out loud. But yeah, let's hear what you got to say.
Get out of my house, Santa. Well, it depends. I mean, I'm going to be nice.
I
Don't
used
worry,
to
I won't
make
bring
fun
you.
of liberals when I was 14. What is I used
What
to make fun
happened?
of SJW liberals when I was 14. What does
Social
SJW
justice
mean?
warriors. Social
Sorry?
justice warriors.
Oh, social
Social
justice
justice.
warriors.
Like Socktua, he could be considered a social justice warrior. He's one of them. Well, I don't necessarily think he carries white guilt, but people that carry white guilt is often a social justice warrior.
I mean, if he's his skin color is technically white, but he likes to say, "Oh, my family's from Turkey," so I don't think he identifies as a white man. If you ask him, he's gonna say, "I'm not white, I'm Turkish." But if he was white, he would definitely say he has white guilt. I guarantee you. If he was 100% a white American, he would say, "Yeah, I have white guilt. I have white guilt."
You won't believe this when I tell you, but my
What is it?
mind, I can show you a picture. I can show you a picture of my great, let's say, no, my grandmother, my mother's mom. She's full blooded Cherokee. I'm the whitest person in my entire family, but I do have Cherokee in me. I've got Irish in me, and I've also got Norwegian, which kind of makes sense because Norwegians slash Vikings settled here a long time ago, and it's believed that they interbred and finished out their days living with the natives.
Now this is funny. Santa is bringing the demon rats coal. Yeah, you demon rats. This ghetto Santa is bringing you coal.
I ain't bringing them coal. I'm gonna take a dump in every one of their stockings.
Awesome beard, someone says.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The
Someone
secret.
said you got North Pole in you.
Well, I don't know about the pole part, but the
My
secret to a good
dude,
beard.
this is an interesting comment. My dude, where do you think Turkey is? It's literally miles from the Caucasus Mountains. You know, the land of Caucasians. Great point. Great point.
Well, in North Carolina, they've got Black Mountain. I don't know where that came from.
Also, not to mention, I think Europeans are a lot different than Caucasians. Just saying. I think we
I
read
don't
your
know. I'm
comment
not
about
very.
Afghanistan. What was your comment? Drop it down below and I'll let you know. I mean, I think we talked about Afghanistan. You compared it to Vietnam and Iran. We already talked about that. But if you want us to talk about it again, we can go more in depth in it. Just drop another super chat. We can talk about it for 10 minutes. It's a good subject, kind of, but I don't really see your point. These are all different rulers and different presidents and different times in history.
Coca-Cola invented Santa Claus. I don't know about that.
That's not true. Don't listen to their bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Santa Claus was around a lot longer, way before Coca-Cola. Mm.
Yes, Caucasians aren't in Europe. It's Chechnya, Armenia, Azerbaijan, the country of Georgia, etc. Yes, I realize that. I'm saying European white people are a bit different than the Caucasian white people, but they call anyone that's white Caucasian, which most of them aren't actually
Yeah.
Caucasian.
I'm not a very politically correct person. You're never going to hurt my feelings by calling me a white dude. Okay. People's tried hurting my how many times people tried hurting my feelings, Graham?
A million
A bunch.
bazillion times.
Have they succeeded?
No, do you think they've succeeded hurting my feelings?
No. Hey, check out this lighting though. I almost look like someone ominous. The light's just perfect behind my head. I'm ready to grant wishes.
Ask Santa for something for Christmas. This is your chance. Unless you're Democrat, you're
Yeah.
getting some shit in your stockings.
If anyone has a hot, I was gonna make sure my wife ain't here. If anybody got a hot mom, put her on here. Tell me what she wants. Especially if she's Democrat. Especially if you're a Democrat.
Where's my dirt bike, Santa? Well, you're a Democrat this year, so it doesn't look like you're getting a dirt
Yeah.
bike.
Dirt bikes don't get fossil fuel powered equipment, and I can't afford battery powered shit.
Yeah, yeah. Democrats don't get fossil fuel powered equipment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He said he never
And
voted.
Santa only deals in raw power. So no two stroke for you.
I ain't demo fag. Well, that's pretty fucking funny. Will you resist the third term Trump? Hell no, I'm not going to resist the third term
No.
Trump.
Hell no, Trump 2028. And I wouldn't be like this if Biden didn't cheat his way into office in 2020. If y'all just left good enough alone, Trump would already be gone out of y'all's hair.
You need purple
So if I
hair
have
to be
anything,
Democrat. I thought you needed blue hair. Blue or purple, I guess, will do it good for the
it's
job.
one of them.
So you want America to have a king? Well, according to the No King protesters, America already has a king.
Tell me this, y'all don't want a king? Yet y'all was totally good with the ascension of Kamala. Tell me, in her primary, who'd she run against? I'm waiting. Who did Kamala run against?
Please, who did
Uh,
Kamala run against in the primaries? Please tell us.
And Jack the blind organist and creepy pasta, whatever. What do you mean 2 terms only? What's wrong with 3 terms?
Obama ran 3 terms. Why can't Trump?
Yeah, even if he did get shit on his hand from sticking his hand up that puppet's butt.
I don't want Candace Owens as 2028. She's the real definition of a puppet. She's more of a puppet than Biden was, except she's not
Yeah.
old as hell and incoherent. She can actually walk up a flight of stairs, but she's still a bigger puppet than Biden. I don't care if she's
If
Republican or conservative. She's a big freaking puppet.
if Santa here doesn't get his wish in 2028 for a Trump rerun, then my only exceptions, the only ones I'm going to accept is going to be JD Vance, Elon Musk. And before y'all say Elon, and I don't care if they had their little fallout, that happens. I don't care. I was a fan of Elon Musk the first time he landed a rocket on the same pad it took off on, and he was Democrat then. But and then before y'all say, "Oh, Elon can't run; he's South African." Well, you know what? In 2008, we had a Kenyan run.
That's
Just
crazy.
they, you won't convince me otherwise. Hawaiian. Barack Obama ain't Hawaiian. You know, if you go to Columbia University, you ask people around Columbia University if they ever even heard of Barack Obama. They haven't. Nobody knows. He ain't got no classmates he went to school with. It's all fabricated. Obama's a Manchurian candidate.
Hit the like and subscribe button. Drop a super chat if you have anything you want us to talk about or discuss. Someone said Joe Rogan as president. Actually, that's a good point. I think Joe Rogan could make the Democrat Party great again. He's the only person in the entire country that I truly think could possibly revive the Democrat Party. But he probably doesn't even want to run as a Democrat at this point because
He'd
of the
probably
whole
be like
Biden
Trump and
thing.
run Republican,
Yeah, he'll probably be like Trump and run Republican and switch his party, his registered party affiliation.
which Republicans need to really take note of this. We didn't vote most of them in. We voted Trump in, and they need to get on board and start helping Trump because as far as I'm concerned, I could see a third party, and I don't consider the libertarians or whatever that Bernie's in even a party. That's a joke. Senate minority leader, what the hell? Well, to me, that what that is like the first loser. But I could see MAGA being its own party. I really could.
Absolutely. Someone said Joe Rogan isn't even on your side. I would beg to disagree.
He's a
I think
level-headed American. I don't care if he's Democrat or Republican.
let's run Harris. Harris isn't going to run in 2028. She was embarrassed in 2024. She's not going to run
Yep.
4 years later.
Did
She
you ever
wouldn't
watch
even
those
win the
commercials?
primary.
Did you ever watch those commercials, Men for Biden? Or
Yeah,
no,
that
Men
shit
for
is
Kamala,
hilarious.
Men for Harris. Did you ever watch those videos?
Oh, so cringe, so horrible.
Oh, it cracked me up. You had that one guy saying, "You think I'm scared of a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast." I'm like, oh my God, the only way that fucking fat ass is eating a carburetor for breakfast is if it's made out of gummy bears.
Obama
Technically
versus Trump
speaking,
will never happen. Obama tried to push Harris into office. He begged people to vote for Harris, and she still lost by like 10 million votes.
Obama has bigger problems on his table. There's a possibility he's listed in the Epstein bullshit, but something is already out there.
He was
Obama,
mentioned in the Diddy court case. Barack Obama was mentioned in the
bingo.
Diddy court case.
Yep. So Barack Obama's got bigger problems on his hands right now than running for president. But I mean, hey, Democrats don't seem to have a problem with kids in cages or Obama hanging out with Diddy.
It's fine when a
Didn't Diddy?
Democrat president does it.
Rules don't apply to them. Yep. It's almost like they have horse blinders on.
Someone said, I love how Obama is still relevant after a whole decade of presidency. Yeah, every president in history is relevant after their presidency. They were president of the great country of the United States of America. What president wasn't relevant after their presidency? Other than Joe
I
Biden is
talked about
irrelevant.
I talked about Jimmy Carter today. He's still relevant.
Rest in peace, Jimmy Carter, by the way.
Yep. You know, just because he was a bad president doesn't mean he was a bad man. The man had a lot of accomplishments in working with Habitat for Humanity, and he was a very frugal man up until his death. So he was a very honest man. Probably, I think what a lot of people say is he was too honest, but it wasn't a good president. But he was a good man.
Ellis, I would love to debate you live. I appreciate you, Ellis. You've dropped some super chats. So, yes, I will debate you live. You got to join the Discord after this live stream. I'll update it. I'll send you the link and we can talk. We can discuss what we're going to debate about. And yeah, we can do a live stream debate. General Ford. I don't know what he's talking about, but hit the like and subscribe button. Drop a super chat. Let me know where you guys are coming from. I like to hear where some of you Democrats are coming from. Mostly California, but let's listen in and see what they say.
Um, I guess you'd say I'm Protestant.
Fort Worth,
I'm to be
Texas.
honest with you. Let's not get fancy with it. I'm Baptist.
Fort Worth, Texas. If you're from Fort Worth, Texas, did you vote for Biden? I'm just curious. Or like, what are your thoughts about Trump? Most people in Texas support the Red Hats and Donald J. Trump.
Speaking of the red hats, I think the reason that Democrats are so jealous of our MAGA hats is because there's no Democrat hat. I mean, you go into town where I'm here, there's two Trump stores in Pigeon Forge, one in Sevierville, one in Wares Valley, and one up in Gatlinburg. There are no Democrat stores. I think they're feeling left out. Someone that doesn't mind losing a lot of money needs to go start a Democrat store because nobody gonna buy that garbage.
If you guys have any questions or dumb comments you want us to read, you got to drop a super chat because some of these are just too dumb to even talk about or debate or really even discuss unless it's a super chat.
Dwayne,
Preach.
if wearing a hat didn't make y'all jealous, you wouldn't have posted that comment. It's okay. I just made a suggestion. You can go start a Trump or a Biden store or Kamala store or whatever. I mean, maybe you should just to be different.
Yeah, no one's ever done that before. You would be completely different. It would be a new kind of business.
Well, see, guess, go, or whatever here says, what best part of Trump do you like? The rapist part or the felon part? Well, anybody out there that thinks that Trump's an honest to goodness felon, you all rely on a corrupt court system for your moral compass. Second of all, who did Trump rape? Are you talking about E. Jean Carroll, the same woman that said rape has many different connotations that some people might call rape hot? Let me tell you what, that cross-eyed fucking bitch can't be trusted. For one, she's a liar. For two, her eyes are like this, and you don't ever trust someone that you can't tell what the hell they staring at.
And third off, what about Biden's rape allegations? The Democrats never bring that up.
Nope. Hey, probably fell asleep on it. Hell, Biden's whole life, his whole family is based in uh
She also said 7 other
scandal.
guys sexually assaulted her.
E. Jean Carroll got dating advice from her dog. This is out of her mouth, not mine. Now, I mean, I might be off on the ifs and the ands and the buts, but the top, the core, the meat of the subject, I've got right. E. Jean Carroll herself said, if there is a man that you wanting to get with, you just be like a dog. You follow that dog until he gives out, till he can't walk no more, and then you just have your way with him. I'm sorry, but if I did that to a woman, they'd be calling that rape. E. Jean Carroll's a piece of shit. And you know what? If you support E. Jean Carroll, you're a piece of shit too.
Morrisville, North Carolina. Have you ever heard of it before?
Uh, Not off top of my head.
Me
I'm more
either.
familiar with, yeah, I'm more familiar with Boone, Charlotte. Uh,
Charlotte is beautiful. I love Charlotte.
yeah. Yeah, I heard that Kamala Harris is on the Diddy party list too. Uh, Epstein didn't even own Epstein Island when Trump and Epstein were friends. But again, when Trump outed Epstein as a friend, what Democrats hopped on that bandwagon and started outing him as well? I think the answer is zero.
What comments are calling us out? Barely anyone is calling us out. And if you have something you want to say or something you want to discuss, you can drop a super chat. But what are you
Yeah, and
even
I tell
saying?
you
I
that.
didn't even see your comment.
Yeah, the town, the it's not in North Carolina, South Carolina, but one of my favorite towns in the U.S. is oh gosh, Charlotte, Charleston, South Carolina. That is one of the coolest towns. It's one of the oldest towns, not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest.
Yeah, absolutely. Another beautiful place.
Just some kitten with a gun. I'm sorry you're disappointed. Okay.
Sorry, you can go watch Dean Withers. You can go watch Dean Withers on live on his streams and how he hates conservatives. Sorry, stuttering like old Joe. But you can go watch Dean Withers on YouTube. You shouldn't be watching me if you don't like me. It's okay. You can go watch Dean Withers. Enjoy Dean Withers and his little homo voice.
Oh, let's
G.
see
Roy,
here. I'm trying to keep.
his wife said nice beard.
Hey, thank you. It just takes lots of neglect. You just have to say, no razor for me today. And just keep doing that every day.
I will try to debate Dean Withers, but I just gotta get the right setup because I can debate him on TikTok or something, And I know
Hey,
Dean
see
doesn't
guest,
like MAGA. Huh?
hey, see guest, go. I'm not salty. I don't. This was an impromptu chat, anyways, with my friend Graham. I mean, y'all just along for the ride. Uh, not there's nothing you say going my feelings. That's how many viewers do we have for our Saturday morning chat?
Almost 100,000 total viewers.
Almost 100,000.
97,000, I believe. 97,000.
Yeah, 97,000 people hung out and had a good time with us Saturday morning. Sorry that you're such a stick in the mud.
Candace Owens, they're still talking about this black conservative woman.
Not
I
all
don't care if she's
conservatives
a
are really
Republican. I don't
conservative.
want her as president. I'm sorry. She's bought and paid for.
Yep,
Give
that's
her
the
a thousand
problem. It
bucks.
seems.
All of her opinions will change. Guaranteed. You can't
Yep.
buy my opinions. They're not for sale. They'll never be for sale.
I tell you
I don't
who I do like, but I tell you who I do like, but it should be just too radical for most people. And I hope, her attitude and how she operates would change. I hope it wouldn't change. But believe it or not, I like Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, she doesn't have to go along with everything. Not saying I agree with everything, but she's proven she doesn't have to go along with everything.
Someone
I
said
do like
we'll take Marjorie Taylor Greene.
ah, I'm glad that I'm not alone in that because Graham doesn't agree with everything I come up with. I mean, we are
Honestly, I'm
individuals.
not really sure even about her too much. Isn't she a Senate member or a Congress member or something like that?
Yes, yes.
I really don't know too much about her, to be honest.
She's one of them that'll call out the left on everything. So,
Nick
Nick
Fuentes,
Fuentes.
I don't like him. He's a neo-Nazi. He's a
I was going to
racist.
ask you if that's a Nazi guy.
Yeah, he
He's
has a last name like a Mexican last name, Fuentes, but he hates Mexicans and he hates blacks. He said it many times. He wants an all-white Christian country. He doesn't like Muslims, Jews. He hates anyone that's not white. Basically, he's basically a modern day Aryan Brotherhood. Basically, a younger generation version of the Aryan Brotherhood. I would damn near say.
Yeah, I see. I don't agree with them views. I just like men and women. We both have our place. We both have our own different skill sets on things we're good at, and I believe that with races also. Not everybody going to be good at the same things. We're all put here on this earth with our own, let's say, superpowers. Mine, I'm a super jackass. Um, but everybody's got their own superpower, something they're good at. I mean, well, heck, look at the NBA. There's some white people and a few Chinese people in the NBA, but most of them are black. Why? Because they're really good at basketball. If I wanted to have a winning basketball team, I'd have as many black people on it as possible. But it just everybody has their own skills. We got to work together on this earth to get through it together. That's
Latinos for Trump, Hispanics for America. America, absolutely. We love legal citizens, legal Latinos, especially Latinas. We love legal Latin people, South American people, Hispanic people, absolutely.
I'm a firm believer that America's best citizens are immigrants, legal immigrants. Um, and you're not going to change my mind on that, except for I will say this, and I've said this every time I've said this to kind of prove my point.
Chill out
We
on
need more.
kicking people out of here, Lunchbox. Please let people speak a little bit more. They're not saying anything too crazy. And the views are dropping like crazy. So please let them say whatever they want.
Is we need more Elon Musks and less Ian Omars.
Absolutely.
I wish we get rid of that woman. That woman ain't she. I'm sorry, she's a terrorist. They need to put her on the terrorist watch list. Oh, yeah, I am a bum. Will you give me some money, Dwayne's World? That's actually a really cool name, Dwayne's World. That's like Wayne's World, only just not as original.
Just not original.
Yeah,
Rob Bob. Is your real name Rob Bob?
Hey, my
Yep.
grandmother used to say that people with two first names in their name was lucky people. I don't know if that's true or not. Yes, send stupid chat. I don't care.
Elos, I
Send
know
us
you can
money.
send a super chat for that question. That's a good question, but I know you can send another super chat. You've done it before. We'd really appreciate it. Just like you guys were saying, we're just trumping these bums. We're just trumping these
I'm
bums.
gonna
Send a
show
super
y'all
chat.
something. I'm gonna show y'all something why everybody's on here because I always bring it up that I'm in. I go to Bojangles every Saturday morning for breakfast for those haters that just want to come out and meet me for a cup of coffee. Um, just so you know, that's what I run around with. That's what's in my wallet. So anytime,
He's trying to get a hit put out on him. Man wants to put a hit
yeah,
out on him.
anytime anyone thinks they can come and take that, it's in my bright back pocket. Good luck with that. So I really should probably put some of that in the bank.
This guy said movie money. They're hating movie money. You guys are such
Yeah,
trolls. Timu
yeah. Let's
money.
see here. Let's see here. Movie money. Here's a one
I
dollar bill
answered your question about about Biden pulling out about Afghanistan. Listen, Elas,
right next to a $100 bill.
I can tell you again about the Biden situation. If you want to drop a super chat, I can answer two questions at once. But I did indeed talk about Biden pulling out of Afghanistan. I said there was plenty of people that died in Afghanistan when Biden did that. I don't know the exact number, but it was more than 30 people, maybe a few thousand even.
There was a bunch. There was. Where did the 13 military service, U.S. service members die? Was it in the pullout of
I think
Afghanistan?
so. But no casualties in American troops in the Iran situation yet. So that's the comparison there for you.
Yeah,
Now, if you
and
want to
every
drop a
president.
super chat, we can talk about your other question.
Yeah, and every president prior to Biden or prior to Trump has been too chicken shit to do anything about Iran. Obama probably one of the biggest chicken shits. Anybody that released a bunch of money to him is chicken shit. So there, you'd have Biden and Obama, both chicken shits. Which I assume Biden's only a tough guy as long as he's got Secret Service around him. You take that Secret Service around him, he's just going to be a bumbling old man. Don't even know where he's at. Even Secret Service said he gets lost in his closet.
Why is this guy saying black, black, black? MAGA? Question mark. Yes, sir.
I don't know. Why start a war? Is there a war started? Last I heard, they're calling this 12-day war.
What's your opinion on Kissinger?
I wish that that's one of the reasons I want to hear. I want to hear it from an actual Vietnam vet, but um, I wish I knew more on it. I don't agree. I go with what the vets say, the Vietnam vets in that matter, and there is no love for Kissinger the way he pulled out. There should have been a better way of them getting out of there than just up and taking off Afghanistan style.
Now, I want to talk about this one. This is a giant lie that CNN is pushing right now. And Trump has rebuked them multiple times and called them literally pieces of shit and losers for lying about this. The nuclear facilities are damaged, but they still have nuclear materials. They don't have no damn nuclear materials. These were bunker busters. They got bombed to shit. There's nothing left but rubble. But CNN is on TV saying, oh, well, they did strike them. Good for them. But the facilities are still there. What the hell are you talking about? They
You're gonna
bombed
have to
these things
dig it
all the
out.
way underground. There's nothing but rubble left.
Not only that, you had jackasses saying that they've known that we was going to attack since May. No, They didn't know since May. Things may have got approved back then, but they didn't know. And you mean to tell me if there's one thing that the U.S. government's good at besides bombing nuclear facilities, it's information. And you're not going to convince me ever that the U.S. didn't have a satellite in the sky constantly fixed on those nuclear facilities. There is nothing that they went and did without us knowing about it. Not going to change my mind on that. You mean that because they found Saddam, was it Saddam Hussein? They found him in a freaking hole in Iran or Afghanistan or something. They found him in a hole, hiding out. So if you can find a man hiding in a hole, it's way easier going to be able to find uranium that's putting off a nuclear radiation signature. The only thing that Hussein was putting off was bad body odor. I guarantee it.
The problem is the strikes didn't get approved. There's been over 10 presidents that have
Kathy
done
Hall,
bombings and strikes without congressional approval. They don't need congressional approval
Kathy
for
Hall,
military
you
strikes.
say they moved the weapons before the attack? Where'd they move them to since you know so much? Huh? Where to? I'm waiting. Come on, Kathy. Tell me. Where'd they move them?
Everything is great.
Was it Ben? No. Was it wasn't no Ben Laden, they got him in his bedroom, didn't they? They got
Yeah.
him in it.
Them
That's
facilities
right,
are
Papa
dust and
Smurf.
rubble now.
Yep, that's right. Kathy's waiting too. She's smart enough. She's got the intel to know they moved him, but just not where. Yeah, I'm sorry. I smell bullshit. The
The
snitch that works there
snitch.
said, "What's the snitch's name?" Actually, you don't know how snitching works. That's not a snitch. A snitch is in the game. A snitch would be someone you selling drugs to rats on you, or someone that is competing against you. You rat on them. That's a snitch. The person didn't say where they moved, but he witnessed the move, the weapons before the strike started. I'm
Still
calling
no
bullshit, Cat.
name or source on this supposed snitch.
Yeah, that doesn't change my opinion about the missile strikes. I honestly believe a decision like that should not be held by a singular person. Well, they call him the commander in chief for a reason. You know, you just can't. You have to be able to spontaneously act like a lion or a cheetah or a tiger. You don't have time to run to Congress and get a binding resolution to deal with this shit. You got to be able to deal with it in the moment. Hence, commander in chief. Y'all don't
Those
like it, maybe.
Doge checks coming, no military cut. Why would we cut our military? Why would we cut
Yeah.
our military? Please.
Cutting our military would be retarded after Biden cut it for 4 years, sold off our oil reserves. No, that'd just be stupid.
And the Doge cuts, yes, a lot of them have been approved. They have to go through the court system. But many of them
Yeah.
have been approved. Yes, indeed.
Actually, Hitler was democratically elected. He did get voted in. As bad as I hate to say it.
He ran on fixing the German economy. That's the only similarities between him and Trump.
Yeah, but don't really doesn't almost every politician run on fixing something? If it
Yeah,
ain't the
even
economy,
Harris
it's
said she
something.
would fix the economy, which is bullshit. She has no
Harris,
plan.
don't get me started on that quack. Harris daggone only said she was going to do everything Trump did after he said it. And you know what? If Harris was going to fix anything, why didn't she do it while she was vice president? She was right there in the president's ear. She didn't make any protests to nothing. If she had made protests and stood out about it and said something like, "Oh, Joe, I don't think this is right. We shouldn't be doing this," then I would have different feelings on the matter.
If she just stood against Joe, I think she would have maybe won the election. All she had to do was stand against Joe and say the shit that he was doing was wrong, and that she would fix everything that he was doing was wrong, and she could have won this election. She could have saved the Democratic Party, but she refused to go against Joe because he's the one that handed her the election. He said, "Here, I'll hand you this election. You can run against Trump, just don't speak badly about me."
Actually, didn't Biden kind of get just ousted by his Democrat Party? Didn't
He
they
did
kind of
get
push him?
ousted. They kicked him out.
Yep, that is right, Kathy. If it's on CNN, MSNBC, or ABC, it's I'll tell you
CNN
why I like.
lied and said there was never an official ceasefire. That's bullshit. Biggest fucking sack of bullshit I heard in recent months from CNN, that there was no official ceasefire. Both
I'll
Israel and Iran have both said publicly there is a ceasefire. They've acknowledged it. The only one that's not acknowledging it is CNN because they're full of fucking shit and they want to discredit Trump in any way they can.
Here we go. Okay, it says a senior Iranian source said that he witnessed them moving the uranium at the Fordow facility. As worried as Sam was to come on and talk with you, I kind of find it hard for a senior Iranian source to even say jack shit.
You
And
know
you
how
just
many Iranians are scared to talk publicly against the government? 99% of them are. And you're telling me an Iranian source. They don't have freedom of speech. If this source was really in Iran telling this to CNN, they would be killed. It's a dictatorship. Do
yep.
you know anything about the government?
Uranium, I don't believe is just something you can pick up and move. I mean, you need to have, and on top of it all, you're not gonna move it in pickup trucks. Uranium's one of the heaviest elements on the periodic chart. That means it's going to weigh for size, for inch, it's going to weigh more than just about anything else in our chart. You got to have something heavy duty to move uranium. So it's not like you're going to be able to sneak out around. I dare say you'd have to have something like a dump truck to move some uranium. And as you move in little itsy bitsy pieces of uranium, but I wonder how much uranium goes into the making of a nuclear bomb. I mean, how much weight wise, how much uranium is in there? Can you Google it?
Sure. Someone said they have sensors to see it all.
I believe that. I mean, I've seen what LIDAR can do. I'd imagine that LIDAR can pick it up. I'd imagine that you could see it move from space from a satellite.
Actually, could Lunchbox comment and Google and let us know how much weight of uranium goes into making a nuclear warhead? Please let us know. Because my computer isn't charged at the moment and I'm really curious as well. So maybe one of the moderators can let us know that real quick.
The uraniums were only at 60% enrichment. It will take up to 90%, and I need a facility to do that, and they don't have one. It'll take 3 years to build another. Actually, it'll take longer than that to build another. And the what I saw is once you get to 60%, it's a long journey getting to 60%, but once you get to 60%, it exponentially starts to get faster. That if they pushed the envelope, that they were weeks or months from having that 90%. So, but yeah, does anybody out there know weight wise how much uranium is in a nuclear warhead?
Please let us know if you guys have any idea out there. Someone Google it and drop it in the comments and let us know. Since Kathy's already on CNN.com, maybe she can look it up on CNN.com and see how much weight.
Yeah, you know what CNN stands for, don't you?
Tell
The,
the viewers. We talked about this 100
the
times.
Crying News Network.
The Crying News Network. I love that. I still call it the Communist News Network.
Oh, that is a good one. That makes even more sense. A gallon weighs 150 pounds. Okay. But do they put gallon weight? Okay, that's still how much goes into a nuclear warhead though?
5,000 gallons.
Some kitten with a gun, I hate to tell you, but there's just one problem with Make America Gay Again. America was never gay. We just got people that ain't putting mental institutions anymore.
Another comment says the same thing.
I tell you what, you two can take off and go be gay with each other.
Hey, you're both in America. You guys can be gay together.
Yep. And then, you know, you make America gay. I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, because if you're alive today, you better go thank a straight person. Moby, was you here when I opened my wallet up and showed you what I got in it?
Palestine hates gays. What are you asking me this dumbass question for? Why do you guys hate gays but also hate Palestine? Well, I don't hate gays, but Palestine hates gays. They want to kill them all. They'll push them off a building. That's
Who
actually how
said
they
I
kill a
hate
lot of
gays?
gays there. They
Because I
drop.
don't want to make because I don't want to go along with your make America gay. I hate gays. Look, I don't approve of gays, but it's none of my business. And you really ought to keep it like that because it don't get no better than that. I I don't approve of it, but I don't care. I got other things in my life that's more important, like how I'm going to spend all them $100 bills I just threw out across the table.
So why can't we
You
see
can
eye
see
to eye?
you can see me eye to eye. I go to Bojangles every Saturday morning. Oh, you talking about eye to eye? Like agree? You know what? I actually have a few gay friends. I actually do. Earl is probably my favorite. And he hates the LGBTQ. He hates any of you new gays because you ruined it for the people. Let me tell you what, there were people that was thumping that gay drum before you all even came along, before you was even a seat in your daddy's sack. Uh, you've got Ron Halford, spectacular singer. Judas Priest, he's gay. You've got Freddie Mercury, one of the most talented singers, gay. I swear, I think Michael Jackson was gay, but I don't care. He had some cool songs too. He was a gifted musician.
Now they're
Um,
gonna go crazy in the comments about MJ. They're gonna be talking shit about MJ. Don't be putting smut on that man's name. Just like Trump, zero criminal charges. I mean, zero like child criminal charges found guilty. Yeah, he has those 36 felonies, but
well, the thing about Michael Jackson is, I don't know if you know who Corey Feldman is. He's a child actor, and he was real good friends with Michael Jackson when he was young, and he was actually molested in Hollywood. He was one of the children that was molested and took advantage of, and he'll come right out and tell you. And Michael Jackson was not one of them. Michael Jackson didn't have a childhood. Michael Jackson didn't develop like you or me. I mean, Michael Jackson, I feel bad for the man, to be honest with you. I mean, the man his entire life, he never had a childhood. He was on hormones and stuff to keep his voice the way it was. He never got to develop fully as a human being. It was always for everybody's entertainment, and that's sad. So, Elton John is also gay, talented musician. I'm sure the Village People are gay, another talented musicians, and they all thumped that big gay drum before you all even came around. And all they wanted, they didn't want all this bullshit that you all are out here after getting, gay marriage and all that shit. They just want to be left alone. And that's everybody's right, and I believe that. Even though I don't approve, you shouldn't be looking for my approval. Why would you even be looking for my approval? Because I guarantee you, I'm going to do something in my life that you don't approve of. But you know what? I'm not looking for your approval either. That's our freedom of being an American, free people.
I like this comment. Trump is a thug hood gangster from the Bronx, bruv.
What's that?
They said Trump is a thug hood gangster from the Bronx, bruv.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know.
I have no clue, but he's a gentleman. He's a
I mean,
businessman.
I've seen how Trump can be in the ring with WWE. I don't want to mess with him. I might end up like Batista with a shaved head. I think that's the only reason Batista can't stand Trump to this day is because him and Vince McMahon shaved that noggin of his. Did you know that?
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, Batista, and he's a good actor. The guy that plays Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's a big flaming Democrat, huge Democrat, and hates Trump. But I'm sorry, he hated Trump ever since Trump shaved his head. So I'm sorry. He's just, I guess he's what do y'all say in the chats? Salty. He's salty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's salty. He said he cheated on his pregnant wife. Lol. Well, it sounds like Ellis is salty, but how can I get Ellis to drop some more super chats? What do you want us to talk about? You're the only one that's really interacting. And yes, people make mistakes.
Yeah.
Maybe he did cheat on his pregnant wife. Nobody's perfect. And I don't think everything Trump does is perfect. I don't agree with everything Trump does. If you want us to talk about some things we disagree with Trump on, then Ellis, drop a super chat. Tupac told us
Well,
not to trust Trump. When the hell
Elvis
is
told me.
that?
Elvis came down in an alien spaceship and told me to trust Trump. So I mean, go figure. Who do we believe? Yeah, Elvis ain't dead. Elvis just went to be with his people in outer space because he was an alien. There is no entertainer in the world that is going to be that talented and not be an alien. I hope y'all know I'm joking.
No, they believe every damn thing that we say. That's the problem. They don't
Then do
know
you
about
guys disagree
sarcasm or
with Trump?
jokes.
There are some things I disagree with Trump, but I voted for Trump and I've got to trust in my vote. I voted for the man to make change, and I'm going to trust in that. But I will tell you, I do not like. Me and Graham both agree on this. I don't like the part in the big beautiful bill about Palantir, but spying on us with AI. But the thing is we've had the government spying on us for. Come on, if
At least
if you
10 or
got if
15 years confirmed.
more
They
than that,
they watch everything on social media. They watch everything that you do on your phone. The only thing is they're not out there criminally charging you for little things. They don't care about charging you for little crimes that you do on your phone or little stupid things or stupid death threats or stupid messages that you have on your phone. They're out there to get the terrorists and the big guys, but I don't agree with it either. It's unconstitutional, it's
yep,
un-American, but we got Edward Snowden to thank for that. He
yep.
exposed them. That's why he had to run away and escape to Russia because they wanted to put him in prison for life for exposing that.
Hey, Elvis, or Lunchbox. I did see it. I did see what you're talking about. Elvis still preaching in a church in Tennessee. Elvis was a very religious man, and that is one conspiracy theory that adds up. If he is alive, it is he is a preacher, no doubt in my mind. So they not charging us yet. What are you talking about? It's from spying on us?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd say it's kind of like the the illegal system, the deportation system. It's overwhelmed. Okay, you even if you did get AI investigating and keeping an eye on every text, every email that everybody sends across the airwaves, you mean to tell me that they're gonna have the power to enforce all of it? No, they will not have the ability. Not to mention, I mean, If I start seeing people kicking down doors at my neighbors for shit they said on the computer or on their phone, I'm going to eventually somebody's going to take notice of that, and there's going to be a resistance to that. So
They're gonna start
yeah, big
shooting at the government at that point. It's only a matter of
yeah,
time.
absolutely. Especially down here in Tennessee. But I tell you, worst place in that is in Eastern Kentucky. There's places you can go in Eastern Kentucky that there is still no cell service. And when you don't have any communication at all, especially being that we've been coddled by communication for so long now, you get cut off by communication in hollers and things. That's where shit gets real because there's no proof of shit that happens then. Graham,
Yeah, you
I
heading
might
out?
have to. I might have to
Yeah, I was gonna say
check
I
it.
want to wrap up as well here.
Check
It's been
this
a good
out.
live stream, huh?
My camera's a bit bright. I need to work on
It's
toning it
raining.
down. It's fixing to. We fixing to get a thunderstorm in, and I actually got electrocuted 2 weeks ago. Power surge came through and knocked me out of my electric lazy boy. I'm talking in it came through, blew half my bulbs out, blew my garage door up, and knocked me out of my lazy chair. So that's the second time in my life that's happened. So yeah, I'm going to hop off here because I do have a fear of electricity, especially when it's coming from the sky or the ground, however you figure it. So
It was a good live stream, man. Thank you for joining. Have a good evening. Have a good
yeah, I
night.
appreciate you chatting with me. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Peace out.